How's it going, everyone? Equinox Phoenix here, and today we're going to talk about The Flash Season 7, Episode 6, titled The One with the 90s. Oh boy, this week's episode is a doozy and a half. Um, so, in the wake of last episode, with Barry going into the pod, uh, and all of that, Team Flash decides we need to find a way to track them. Uh, and so Chester and Cisco build a machine that'll allow them to track the isotopic signatures of the forces and identify which one that is coming. The Speed Force asks, is there a way to track them first? Of course, it's kind of, it has like a certain range to it, so they can, it's only within a certain range, so it has to be them coming to the team, not the team going to them. Now, after this machine is built, it fizzles out near Masonville, and well, lo and behold, they get hit with a green energy wave. And Chester and Cisco end up kind of, sort of time traveling. Oh, okay, no. They get stuck in a bubble. That's essentially 1998. December 4th, 1998. And oh dear. I was almost 5 back then. And they figure out that they can track the signature of it. It's a temporal signature, so that it's a new force. It's not the strength force, and it's not the sage force. It is, as we know, the still force. Ooh. So they go to a high school, Masonville High, is the high school, to figure out which of the students is the still force. They think it's this one dude, but then because talking to him triggered a reset of the time loop. It turns out, no, the reset of the time loop causes damage to the machine, which protects Chester. It resets Cisco, and Cisco is 7 back in 98, so that's yeah. As I'm sure you can all tell, Cisco started acting like a 7-year-old. But Chester managed to get him back using Game of Thrones as the key to unlocking it, right? Future references is what fixed. I think his name is Brandon, and a future reference brought back Cisco. They go to a store. Okay, they realize. Okay, they're stuck in a time loop. That's when Chester and Cisco realize they're stuck in a time loop, and that the device is broken. With that, they go to a tech store, tech station, I believe it's called, to buy a converter, which it turns out Chester's dad bought it, the last one. And then, so Chester goes to his dad to ask like someone else, Boyega, something Boyega. I forget the first name. To try and buy it off of him. Finds out his dad isn't as bad as he seemed. His dad worked a lot to essentially provide for his kid, accidentally neglecting said kid somewhat. and that he had bought it so that little Chester, 1998 Chester, could find it. Uh, to learn the value of one man's trash is another man's treasure, essentially. Um, which I guess is a good lesson to learn. I mean, it turned out all right. Like we know it turned out all right because Chester's is a great person and whatnot. But like, oh, sorry. Anyway, so he then helps Chester fix the little machine thing so that they can face off against the time god as it's described. It turns out it's some football dude because he got injured in a game and ended up with 4 pins in his knee. I am so glad I've never had that happen to me. Because that sounds painful. Anyway, with the Time God versus Cisco and Chester fight, he kind of goes like he just flips out completely, and we see '90s Frost and Caitlyn, which not the best look. And then we see '90s '90s Joe and '90s Iris, which is really not, which they look really cool. For the '90s. And then '90s Speed Force is somehow the same as 2020 Speed Force or 2021, I guess. It would be 2020 as like the 2020s Speed Force, which I guess makes sense. I mean, Joe's hairstyle didn't change in the 30 years, apparently. And then they realized that the only way to stop this new force is that Cisco and Chester have to. Now, Chester talks down the dude, and he disappears, saying, "The future is mine." He just disappears. He evaporates into green sparks, into green like particles. A la OG. What's his name? Harrison Wells. OG Harrison Wells. The same way Harrison Wells disappeared. The Still Force. Force dude. I forget his name. I can't be bothered to look it up. I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments. So he disappears, and in that same manner. Now, as the team is wrapping up, Cisco name drops them. We got the Still Force, the Strength Force, and the Sage Force. He's like to Nora's Speed Force. Oh, time to wake up. I do love waking up early. Anyway, so he name drops it. Then Joe goes and speaks to Frost and tells her that Christian Kramer is after her. Frost responds with, "I finally have a life. I'm gonna live it. So bring it on." I did gloss over one scene. Pre Still Force extending to Central City. Frost got all of her stuff from Aminette's storehouse back and is moving in with Caitlyn, which I'm actually kind of interested where they're going with the whole Caitlyn and Frost being different people thing. At least this means that we still keep Caitlyn if Frost gets arrested, but I don't want Frost arrested because that dynamic between Caitlyn and Frost is one of my favorites. But yeah, that was the episode. Honestly, it was fun. It was a little bit because it took place in the '90s and time loop. I'm not one for Groundhog Day or stuff like that. I don't like time loops. I think they're just they're not my thing. personally. But yeah, overall it's a good episode. We finally have met all of the forces. It took 3 episodes. So we got Strength Force, Sage Force, and then fourth. I can't speak. And then finally, Still Force. We now have all 4 of the forces. So it's weird. I didn't get spoiled on the episode because someone like put a clickbait title on YouTube about it. And I saw the title and I was like, "Oh no." But then like nothing looked towards that. I won't say what the title was, like, but like it was just weird. Anyway, tell me what you guys thought of the episode down in the comment section down below. That's gonna be it for this video. If you guys haven't already, hit like, hit subscribe if you're new. I will see you guys next time, and as always, stay bright.